Welcome everyone back to day 3 now of the Wild Cards. It's Saturday, December 12th, and that means it's about time for Europe to get back on track. Cold ALPACAS and Smiley Face are going to be playing, while Belt Slap and Snake Pit are, and this is going to be a big determining factor.
But what really is going to matter is who gets pressure in mid and which jungler can invade these blue buffs.
Well, in every tournament so far that Snake Pit have played against Belt Slap, they've only ever been able to take one game off of Belt Slap. Let's see if they can change that today. Let's go down to game number 1 with the casters.
Forward, it's going to be Worst Turtle and Genetic moving in. Julio's already down to half health. The ultimate out of Worst Turtle means that he's not going to heal anything back up, and their front line is gone. Solo laner out of the picture. Worst Turtle with the credit for the kill onto it, but it might be picking up Genetics in response as Arkle takes a shot and takes down the support. Great Riptide is going to hold Tarum in place. He's barely going to be able to get out with his own dash. And as far as the health bars go, advantage once again goes in favor of Belt Slap with all of that sustained. With the Titan exposed and 5 healthy players out of Belt Slap, it's looking like game 1 is going to go the way of the boys in blue.
30 minutes of controlled, easy action for Belt Slap into 10 minutes of, oh my god, are Snake Pit gonna do it? Can they do this? And it looked like they could. And then those hopes were immediately dashed around the enhanced Fire Giant.
Yeah, there's a lot, I think, to go up against. Belt Slap win the first one in 42 minutes. They're running pretty much the same draft. Let's see if they can do it a little bit quicker. Snake Pit can turn things around.
There's really no reason he had to. If he wanted to rotate towards the mid-fight, just clear the way safely.
Angry, gonna have to use his beads immediately, but now he doesn't have it for the push back. Beads out of Julio, and the Boulder immune out by the Aegis. Angry doing everything he can to keep himself alive in the midst of 4, but Zeros will have enough to clean it up. Trickstank's gonna ult himself to try to stay alive, and it will get popped into the mid. But now he's on the wrong side of the wall by Johnny, but he's able to squeeze by Zeros with a double kill in the midst of all of the chaos, and that's gonna force out the airstrike. Out of Spudio, now Genetics left alone under the tier 2 tower, nowhere to run, shoved against the wall and beaten down by Johnny.
Julio walked at the enemy ADC and just looked at him at the end, and this man, shivering in his boots, quivering in his jacket, pops the beads out of sheer fear. I can smell it on him from here, because Julio is just a menace in the backline continuously. In the last 4 team fights, Angry wasn't allowed to play. He just had a Hercules riding him the entire time. Snake Pit has so much potential as a team. They have the ability to fight it out through the early game to maintain pace with Belt Slap, but it's just small misplays here and there completely lose them out on these matches.
I'm actually leaning a bit more towards Cold ALPACAS. I think they've got better team fight control in their draft, and I fancy them to take it.
Maybe the way we play in the battleground determines the winner. The Snake Pit, Cold ALPACAS, game 1. It's Fuzzy and Wormy on the call.
Have you not learned your lesson? Worst Turtle is on a rampage. Just let him be. Don't let him get into your front line, because the front line will fall away. As Juan's going to go ahead and get into his ultimate. Cupid will ult to try to keep him from dashing. He's going to get exploded by Angry, and they can just turn right onto the Fire Giant. The Porridge is over on the left-hand side, getting a tier 1. He might even get this tier 2, but Tarum is over here as well. This is an easy Fire Giant for the Snake Pit, as they do secure it. But in return, Cold ALPACAS do get that tier 2 and is able to dash away with First Coast.
This should be the end of the game here. There's fire minions pouring in on both sides, and my man Brady Prime is getting crit to death, and it seems like that will be the end of game number 1, and Snake Pit do take that one in a dominant fashion. I was pretty convinced there that Cold ALPACAS were going to come out with a very solid strategy, but unfortunately just all fell apart.
So, I mean, I kind of brought this up. You look at Cold ALPACAS draft. Some question marks there. The potential, absolutely there for the Cold ALPACAS. You got to get it done here in game 2 to give yourself a chance. Will the Nox support work? We'll jump in to find out.
Oh, maybe even
Taram's
2.
gotta be so
but
careful though. He's getting really low there, but Astiniax does not have a lot of health either. Angry is gonna pop the beam, and Genetics holding him down. The dash cancel for the last hit onto the enemy support. A nice kill there for the 2-0-2 Nox support, who really is making her rounds this time around.
Well, and I think Spudio will be able to get the double kill, and this could be the turn of the game. Cold ALPACAS, they might be packing their bags a little bit early as Pretty Prime is out as target, and Spudio gets the triple kill at the end of this game. And look who's trying to hear presence here, but Worst Turtle will pick him up. That will be a deicide. Cold ALPACAS, you're getting sent home. Sorry, but the Snake Pit are going to the finals.
That was incredible. The power of Nox is really just showing off here, and Genetics with those mechanics really able to pull off such a great character to see in support.
So just like I said at the beginning of the day, it's Belt Slap versus Snake Pit, getting some mad deja vu, and these two teams are going to go up against each other in a very interesting fashion, which is to say that they are coming in, specifically here for Belt Slap, with a 1-game advantage from winning this set earlier, and I think collectively, Belt Slap have lost 1, 2, maybe 3 games total to Snakebit. They've only lost 1 set so far this year. I mean, this is the time to do it, right? If you're Snakebit, it's do or die. This is the last chance you really get.
Thank you on the desk there, Gormizer and Kiki. It's Finch and Mifflin here as we move into the finals for EU. We will determine which team is going to Worlds right here and now, but they don't get much off it. Julio, though, not going to miss out on that Relic much. He has Relic Dagger, but there's the grab from Genetics. Tricksank is low. Terrorum is in as well, and he's committed the ultimate. They need this to work out, and Julio is low, but also fast. He zoomed out, but Scared Blessing is already onto Spudio to use more of the buff here than a save, as Angry's able to find 1 kill. Arco melts the Spudio's wrath as they find a 2nd kill. Snakebit are absolutely popping off in the late game.
Tying up the set at 1-1. That's insane. An absolutely insane way to lose the game. Belt Slap had the defensive positioning around Fire Giant. They had everything going for them at engagement, but then a slight overstep, chasing a little bit too far into that right side jungle. Had they just waited, they had Fire Minion waves flooding down the center of the map. The minions were legitimately on the enemy Titan, but instead, they take a fight and lose the match. Unfortunate.
So with the perfectly timed Onk, I can see Belt Slap just running through them.
Oh, that's going to be key then. We've seen a lot of relics sometimes get unused. Will Belt Slap be able to find the perfectly timed Onk? We can only find out in Game 3.
Doesn't matter how cool the ultimate is, right? As Zero's used the ultimate defensively, but he's been caught out exactly as anticipated, but it wasn't enough damage. Terram, though, is the one that closes the gap, and Zero's will not escape.
Backing to defend their own Titan against the waves. It's 40 seconds left on the nearest respawn. I think Snakepit won it.
Yeah, Zero's got to pull off some magic here, isn't he? Because it's just him and Trickstank trying to keep this game alive. Snakebit have melted the middle Phoenix. I don't know what happened to them back there, but they got to be quick because the Titan is low in the back. The minion pressure is too much. They have to move up the pace and get onto this Titan quickly to try to outdo what the minions are doing on the other side. You are right. There's barely any time on the clock for them to win this race, but now they're getting low. Trickstank has the stun on the Spudio in the back. Zero's even gets a kill on the Terram. The unstable Vortex is too much damage, but Snakepit have the Titan too low here at this point. If they are able to commit, and Belt Slap weren't able to do enough to close this one out. Snakepit are now up 2-1 over Belt Slap.
Stinky situation, man. What is that? You can't do that twice to Belt Slap, the team that is nigh undefeated throughout the entire year. You're going to sneak away and win 2 games in a row, 10k down? Absolutely insane, man. If Belt Slap wasn't tilted after game 1, these guys are perpendicular to the ground at this point. They look like my paintings back there. My mental would never recover. I'm shattered. Best of luck, Zeros, man. That's tough, dude.
Julio is here to try and play some defense. Johnny coming in the backside, but Terrorim finds the 2-man pull, and Tricksank has the passive proc. Spudio gets the kill. Meanwhile, there's the leap in from Worst Turtle looking to win the duel. But Worst Turtle forgot about destruction. You're not going to win this if the ultimate's still available, bud, and he falls to Julio. He's got a little bit of help here from Worst Turtle, but is that going to be enough to disrupt? Tricksank looks for the disruption there with the Mez, but I think Snakebit are buying their time. The Fire Giant's down to about 1,200 HP, so in comes Snakebit, but Belt Slap confirms the objective. So now they can just take the fight on the backside. Terram gets melted. Trickstank is able to lock down Worst Turtle for another free kill. Belt Slap gets the D aside, and Snakebit starting to crumble here in the late game.
Winions in, member dead for 50. Now's the time. Belt Slap have to search forward, but a huge ult!
Yeah, the snipe from Angry hits just about everyone, but can they capitalize in this moment? Johnny still has his ultimate, so he's not the best target as Worst Turtle gets pinned up against the wall. He cannot survive, and Johnny gets the kill. 5 against 3, Fire Giant around their waist. I think Belt Slap want their first actual win of these Europe finals here in the SCC. They move on to the Titan and dares Snakebit to come up with an answer. Destruction coming out from Johnny. The Titan can't stand it, and Belt Slap tie the setup.
It's one more game. Winner gets to go to those Worlds qualifiers. Let's go down to the casters for one last time.
To the backside of this fight as the Oni Fury gets lower and lower. Pushing in with the Cursed Donk, though, is going to be Belt Slap, and they have Snakebit low already. Angry has already fallen as Johnny gobbles him up. This is the response Belt Slap needed after a careless mistake near the FG.
Genetics straight up killed Spuddy with that wall. Oracle straight up killed Worst Turtle with an arrow. The fight continues. Belt Slap are looking good.
They're trying to put this one to bed right here and now. Snake Pit have been too strong. They've done too much, and Arco gets himself a double kill, improves to 3-0-1. Terum has been claimed as well in Mifflin. I think that might have done it. Belt Slap have claimed 4 lives. Angry's gonna do it all alone, but I don't think there's a chance. Belt Slap want to move on to the World Playoffs, and they've absolutely done it.
They look good, man, and it's a hard draft to beat. I'll be interested to see how this true European style will match up against the SPL players who have largely kind of acclimated to this North American Ghost gaming style. I wonder if it's going to be a strategy that's able to work, or if they're going to have to adjust themselves and try and mesh into what's working in the SPL. I think that this is a team that you definitely want to keep your eyes on come Worlds time.